This is the final chapter of Jesus' discourse to his friends, the 11 disciples. In the next chapter, Jesus will offer up the great priestly prayer on their behalf. Here, Jesus continues the theme of persecution and trouble which is to come, and the role of the Holy Spirit in it all. He gives his disciples warning and consolation to prepare them. This is to keep them from stumbling, so that they will not lose hope and give up their witness. Time is an important feature of this discourse. Jesus has spoken before in this gospel of his own hour, but now he speaks of his disciples' hour, when people will think they are worshipping God by killing them. Nevertheless, Jesus' departure is in fact to their advantage. Why is this? Because Jesus will send them the advocate. He will play a double role in his testimony to Jesus. To the world he will bring conviction. He will show them their sin in not believing Jesus. He will highlight Jesus' righteousness by his resurrection, and he will show how the devil has been condemned. But for the disciples, he will guide them into all truth. There are many things still yet to be said, but the disciples' grief is now too much, and these things are probably too difficult to understand this side of the cross. The cross is the great mystery by which all things will be revealed and understood. Jesus has done all that he can to prepare his friends for the impact. He knows they will be scattered by it, but it is impossible to say more. They must go through the fire. Jesus uses the imagery of childbirth. The pain is inevitable, and there is no avoiding the hour once the process has begun. But when it has passed, joy overwhelms the memory of suffering. Here again, in using this image, is the warning about time. In a little while Jesus will depart, but again in a little while they will see him. The world will rejoice in a sickening way whilst they grieve, but their grief will turn to joy when Jesus is raised. The disciples in this way are given the secret divine timetable of which the world is unaware. The world will think its victory is permanent and that they have served God by it. But they do not know God, nor the one whom he sent, nor the word which he brought. They operate in darkness, seeking only glory from one another. By this difference in behavior and reaction, the disciples will continue to be shown that they no longer belong to this world. Again, none of this can make sense to them now, but the Holy Spirit will show them when it happens. Jesus again indicates they are on the brink of a time shift when he explains that very soon he will stop using figures of speech and will speak plainly of the Father. This implies that what must take place on the cross can only be explained fully after the event. The disciples, however, now claim that they do understand Jesus. But Jesus knows what is in a man. Despite their well-meaning confidence, he tells them that they will abandon him at the crucial moment. He has reassured them that in their hour of darkness they will not be left alone, but in his own hour they will leave him alone. Yet Jesus will not be alone, because the Father is with him. Jesus concludes with a note of consolation for his bewildered disciples. In him they will have peace. In the world they will have persecution. But though they will not understand until that Sunday morning, Jesus has conquered the world.